going to take you back in time to the story of the little red hen. If you remember that story, the little red hen was very industrious. She was working on a big project, and as she worked, she asked various colleagues for assistance, and they were all busy or tired and unable to help her. In the end, her product was something that everyone wanted. But along the way, when people would say, "No, I don't want to help," she would say, "I'll do it myself." Or in the voice where I used to read it to my children, "I'll do it myself." I find that a number of people, especially leaders, take on that mantra, not because they ask people to help and they won't, but they don't even ask. They just keep the mantra of, "I'll do it myself." I'm Dr. Michelle Fritsch. I welcome you to this Wednesday Wellness Chat, where we're going to talk about two intertwined important topics. One is your reserves, and the other one is your vulnerability, your ability to reach out and allow others in. So if you'll bear with me, we're going to walk through these together. I have two analogies for you to consider when we think about your reserves. One is the gas tank. How often do you find in your own life, your own energy levels, your own capacity to think through problems? How often do you find that you let your reserves run low and maybe don't realize it until they're dangerously low? Or the other analogy is a bucket of water. You carry around your bucket of water, and every time someone needs something, every time you need to deal with an issue, you help somebody out, you're doling out some of the water from your bucket. Have you ever gotten to the point where your bucket is out of water and you might not have realized it? Well, one of the tangible tips today, because I'm finding there's so much going on in our country and in our world right now, I keep encountering people whose reserves are gone and they don't really realize it. So here are some early ways to know. One is, has your fuse gotten short? Do just little things make you angry and make you snap and make you do or say things that you regret? Do you find it's hard to cope with things? Is it hard to sit down and read a complex document in order to sign it? Is it hard to process information? Do you find that you're grabbing food that you know is not healthy, but boy, it feels good at the moment? Do you grab alcohol or cannabis or other things that just kind of dull some of the depletion that you might be feeling? I'm finding, again, and we're going to dive into this more in just a few minutes, for many people, this is also triggering addictions, whether it's alcohol or tobacco or other drugs or pornography or gambling or having to have multiple partners. There's just so many ways that people are trying to manage their depletion in ways that aren't so healthy. Are you having a bigger reaction to things than you normally would? Like, does turning on the news make you just want to shut down? You just can't hear anymore. You can't tolerate anymore. You can't process anymore. When you make a mistake, what's happening with the self-talk? Are you being more cruel to yourself? Are you berating yourself more than you normally would? What if someone else makes a mistake? Are you accepting and forgiving and helpful, or does it just irritate you? I'm finding that there are a lot of people, again, whose reserves are almost depleted, and they're acting out in ways that they don't want to. And a piece of that especially with clients I've worked with recently, is they get the little red hen mentality. I'll do it myself. I'll take care of it. I'll work through it. It's always worked out in the past. I don't need anybody. Why would I ask somebody for help? They've got other things that they're already dealing with. They don't want to have to deal with my issues, or they wouldn't know what to do anyway. It would not be helpful. I'm kind of astounded at the frequency that I'm encountering this, especially in the last 2 weeks. I'd love to know if you're encountering this as well. And what I'm finding, and this is my deep thought for the day, if you are afraid or unwilling to be vulnerable, that actually leaves you very vulnerable. So I'm going to say that one more time. If you are not able to be vulnerable, that actually leaves you vulnerable. And one of the ways I've been watching this play out in recent months are some very, very sophisticated scams. These scams are especially preying on people that are well known, very accomplished in their fields, and they have some wealth, making them very attractive to the scammers. And so picture someone who has some unmet needs inside feeling like things aren't as complete and good as they should be. Outwardly, they may be working and doing their job and publishing papers or creating art or managing large groups of people like you wouldn't know anything is going on. But inside they are not doing well. And again, they're being the little red hen, saying, I'll take care of it myself, not reaching out and letting someone else come alongside them. These scams can identify through just a little bit of interaction with some harmless online, you met somebody on social media or via email or via a phone call or via a text. Somebody comes along and starts to get to know you. And they've got this down to a precise recipe. They quickly can figure out what are those areas of insecurity that you have. They present to you someone who is just absolutely the perfect match that you've looked for your whole life. They've got the look, they've got the intelligence, they've got the wealth, they've got the opportunities. It looks like the perfect person for you. And over time, a relationship develops completely online. And over time, you become more and more emotionally attached to this online person because, again, they've got your number. They have figured out all of your unique insecurities and they are addressing each and every one. And then somehow, miraculously, they have access to somebody who is just amazing at growing your wealth. And so if you invest, often in cryptocurrency, but if you invest in this person, I've heard that it's an uncle, it's the person's mother, it's the person's neighbor, whatever, who's this massive expert at making your money grow. And because you trust this person now and you've got such a deep relationship, you invest that money. And then at some point, you realize that it's all a scam. It's amazing the technology. The scammers, can take any supermodel's picture, any picture of a super handsome man for the women out there, somebody who looks like your exact type, and they figure out your type very early in this sort of learning about you. They can then use AI to have live video chats with you. It looks exactly like you are actually talking to that person real time. It's all AI. It's terrifying how accurate it is. Just a year ago, I think you would have been able to tell the difference. But in the last few months, it's advanced so much that the people are not seeing the difference. So these scams are truly vile. They get to know you, they get into your psyche, they pull you away from real relationships into a fake relationship that feels very real, separating you from the real live people in your life. So, again, you're even more little red hen. You're like, all I need is this person because they are my exact right person. And then they take your money. They're depending on how it goes from there, they might actually threaten your reputation. And once people are realizing they're involved in these scams, the suicide rate is horribly high because you've lost your real life relationships, you've lost money, sometimes millions of dollars, and you've lost your reputation and your self-respect along the way. And it all comes down to people letting their reserves go. They've worked hard, hard, hard until there's nothing left. They've got some unmet needs. They're not feeling great. They won't share that with anybody. But the scammers are able to figure that out very quickly and meet every one of those needs. And in the end, people are left with nothing. And it becomes, I believe, a form of addiction where you're so accustomed to communicating with this person online, you don't know how to break free of that and go back to real relationships. It's incredibly detrimental. So I'm on a quest through this Wednesday Wellness Chat and other things to help people know that there are people out there who will come alongside you. It is healthy and in your best interest to have people come alongside you, whether that is a trusted friend, that is an advisor in your life. It's something that we love to do for you at Propel Comprehensive Wellness. Our very first step in the Propel process is a tool called the Life Purpose Scan. It takes about 10 minutes, gives you some insights of what sorts of self-talk are working for you and where you're probably not helping yourself. And then myself or one of our colleagues comes alongside you for what we call a guided discovery session. We don't tell you who you are or what you're about or anything. We just ask questions that allow you to figure out where are those areas that we could shore up some weaknesses, we could shore up some vulnerabilities and bring those to the open and get you the refill, the recharge, refill the gas tank so that you're not as exposed and vulnerable to these things that are going on. So I encourage you to not be the little red hen, to not do it myself. It's not the way we're wired. It's not the way we're created as people. The more we can get into each other's lives and help each other, the stronger we actually are. And I have found in working with a lot of leaders, the ones who are more open to others and others' input are the ones that are absolutely thriving. And the ones that stay very inward are the ones that don't have a long, healthy, fulfilling life. So I want everyone to have the more fulfilling future where they're healthy, their family's healthy, their relationships are healthy. They go out and they impact the world in all the ways that they have left to do so.